think that you have seen in the last couple of shows whereby the Detroit Lakes Police Department really is your department at work. The story continues again today with more with Tim.
All right, let's play Mythbusters. There's a couple of myths that every year we encounter them. One myth is the Fuzz busters, or the radar detectors, are they illegal? And the answer is no, they are not illegal. You can have a radar detector in your personal vehicle as you're driving along. What we don't want to see, and what we sometimes bump into, is people trying to hide the Fuzz busters. And from our perspective, when we're pulling them over and we see them wiggling around and stuffing stuff, we don't know if they're reaching for something or if they're trying to hide something. But so just leave your radar detector where it is, it's fine. Another thing is, in the summertime especially, people that drive without their shoes on, I do it all the time. It is not illegal to drive with your shoes and socks off. There's no problem with that. And we'll see that, we'll pull somebody over and they'll be digging around trying to get their shoes on. And it's the same type of thing where we don't want people messing around while we're pulling them over and walking up to the car, because we don't really know what they're going for. And if you feel like you're being treated like a criminal, it's don't take it personally. It's just because we don't know who you are, we don't know what you're doing, so we may speak harshly to you. Another thing, don't get out of the vehicle and approach the police officer. Sometimes people do that. They feel like it's a nice gesture to do, but just stay in your vehicle, keep your hands up on the wheel, or you don't need to put your hands up or anything like that, but just look at it from our perspective. We like to see people's hands, and time to buckle up your seatbelt is before you get pulled over, not when you see the police officer, then you buckle up. Buckle up before you even leave. And tasers. A couple years ago, our department was issued tasers, and we've had several successful tasings, and I know in the media, when they first came out, there was some controversy. There's some in-custody deaths that some people have attributed toward the taser, and there has been no medical documentation or anything attributing these deaths to the tasers. And actually, on the contrary, more lives have been saved because of the tasers than haven't been, or that have been injured. And what the tasers do is they shoot out about 50,000 volts. Two probes come out and they stick into the shirt or clothing or skin, and they deliver these volts for a period of 5 seconds. And after the 5 seconds are done, then we can keep pulling the trigger, but most of the people have complied after that first 5 seconds. Actually, most of the tasings that I've personally done, I shut off after about 3 seconds because we gain compliance. Nope, we have no quota. Actually, there's a state law prohibiting quotas, and so we'll get that a lot, where people will ask us, or they'll tell us, you're just giving me a ticket because of the quota. And we have no quota. The reason we enforce the laws are the same reasons that the laws are made. There's a reason for it. Speeding, for example, a lot of our accidents are a direct result of people going too fast. And so we go out there and we enforce speeding to remind people to slow down. So it's nothing, as you can see when we're driving around here at night, all we're seeing is a pair of headlights coming at us and our radar. And I would challenge anybody, when you're out driving around at night, to identify how many people are in the car that you see coming at you, identify their sex, identify their race, and it's, so when people say that, well, you're picking on me because of whatever, my last name, or because of my race, or because I'm a woman, or, it's really kind of ironic, because we can't see who we're dealing with as we're meeting them on the road at night. And so it's kind of a frivolous complaint. A lot of emails get forwarded and warnings about don't if you see a vehicle pull up behind you with the lights on and you're not sure it's a police officer, call the dispatcher. And all of our vehicles, our marked squad cars, have the spotlights, have the red lights and blue lights, and I mean they're decked out. I would say that if you think it's not legitimate, certainly don't pull off on a little desolate road or something. But if there's a vehicle behind you with emergency lights, certainly pull over, and because if you don't pull over, more police officers are going to get involved, and it just gets everybody worked up. If it is somebody like a predator or somebody that has a light, I've heard of some people getting pulled over by fake police officers, and they just have one single light up on top. And so I guess those forwarded emails are okay to an extent, but what I see happening is people getting very paranoid about something that doesn't typically happen in this part of the country. And sure, as soon as I say that, now it's going to happen. But I would just say that, let common sense take over too. That, if you're in Detroit Lakes and you're downtown and there's a emergency vehicle behind you, pull over and stop. If they're not pulling you over, they're going to continue on. And a lot of times people won't pull over right away, and I've had people say, well, I thought you were an ambulance. And it doesn't matter if you're an ambulance or a fire truck. If there's emergency red lights behind you, please pull over and stop. And we haven't had any complaints in Detroit Lakes that I know of anybody, sexual predators or anything, posing as police officers, pulling somebody over. So certainly take that with a grain of salt and use your common sense. And same thing with mall parking lots. I see the emails that come out that say, don't, back to traffic, I guess. There's one email that comes back every so many months that if you see somebody with their lights off, you flash them, and then they come out and they kill you because it's a gang initiation. And it may have happened a few times somewhere in the United States, but if you're driving along and somebody doesn't have their headlights on, certainly flash them and have them turn their headlights on. And it kind of falls back on that whole common sense thing. And same thing with mall parking lots or anything. Don't. I hate to see people get worked up about emails that are forwarded. We had one just a few months ago about Walmart, and it ended up being an unfounded thing. And I just hate to see people get all worked up about it and overboard, paranoid, and certainly be cautious and vigilant, but there's no reason to push the panic button either. When we're patrolling around at night, right now there's 2 patrol cars in the city of Detroit Lakes, so we're driving around taking calls, and we get a lot of help from the Sheriff's Department and State Patrol and everything. But if you look at the map of the city of Detroit Lakes and the area that we have to cover, we really makes you realize that we rely heavily on the public for their eyes and ears. If the dog that lives next door starts barking and doesn't normally bark at night, or if your neighbor's motion light goes on, don't wait until the next day or the next week. When you see a police officer, there's no such thing as bugging us. All we're doing is we're out here patrolling right now and waiting for people to call in, and we're looking for stuff too. And a lot of people feel that they're going to be bothering us, or that they'll feel stupid if they call and there's nothing out there. We would much rather have somebody call us and we get to the scene and there is nothing. And we'd much rather have that than somebody having to put up with their neighbor's loud party all night long, and they see us the next week and they say, where were you guys on Saturday night when my neighbors were partying till 4 o'clock in the morning? So don't ever hesitate to call in on anything, one of the things that we deal with a lot are drunk drivers, and with the cell phones now, everybody's got a cell phone, and you know, that just helps us out being the eyes and ears out on the roads too. And some people will ask me, well, I hate to call in a guy for drunk driving because I don't know for sure if he's drunk, and that all relates back to the same thing in your neighborhood. If you're driving along on the highway and you see somebody weaving back and forth, or they speed up and they slow down and just driving erratically, certainly give us a call. We'll try to get them pulled over, and sometimes maybe it's just somebody who's tired, been on the road a while, and that's just as dangerous as a drunk driver in a lot of cases. So, you know, by us pulling them over, it may wake them up or give them the heads up to pull off somewhere and take a power nap. But again, we're out here doing what we do, and anybody that can be out there helping us out by calling us in, a drunk driver or a suspicious prowler or something, don't ever feel like it's bothering us, because it's not. It's something that we do, and we'd be more than happy to investigate it.
Well, I hope you folks have enjoyed our little visit with the Detroit Lakes Police Department. Remember, these people are working on your behalf. So again, from Hometown Happenings, we thank the police department, and we thank our viewers out there.